YouTube. How's it going, guys? You good? Yeah, I did not expect to be doing this right now, but let me get to it. Obviously, I knew that we were gonna have to go back in here. Here she is, the old 5070 GTI. I love this card, but I knew we were gonna have to go back in because I need to take the motherboard off so that I can get a screw in that particular standoff right there. So I do need to do that, and I did want to change some of the thermal interface on the back of the plate that I've added. So I do need to do those, and I did need to add I did want to change the thermal interface on to some of the back plate. So on the inside, the edge, you'll see what I mean. But the problem that has arisen, I feel, is a little bit more pressing. So we need to go in and we need to do that. So we may as well do the other things whilst we're there and just, you know, basically wrap it up. Basically, just finish it off. I'm also going to put a little bit of wrap on this bottom edge just to finish off the look of the GPU, and then we'll get it back in. And if you watched the video previously, me and the motherboard ARGB header, we've dealt with our differences. I got it in there, so I should be able to control the ARGB on this as well without any software, which is super handy. I have to hand it to Gamewood for giving us that literally that ARGB port so that we don't have to use software if we don't want to. That's friggin' awesome. Still friggin' hot today. I know I'm in a hoodie, but I've said this before. This is for your benefit, not mine. You know, like, I'm thinking about how egregious on your eyes it'd be for me to be in just a t-shirt, especially at the moment, being a right fat bastard. But like I said, the standoffs do kind of fit. It's not really too much of an issue. They do go through and grab just about, so I might be able to use the original screws. But to show you what I mean, obviously I put a timestamp on the previous video where we did all these customizations. So if you haven't watched that, I will leave I'll link it at the end of this video, so I'll make sure that that's linked. But essentially, I put a timestamp to what I need to get done. We'll go have a look at that now, yeah? No, it's that way. Right, okay guys. This is the pause moment from the video that I mentioned. 8:28 on the earlier video. This is the back plate at present. If you look here, this spot here, let me just enhance. Right, okay, so I've zoomed in a little, and if you can see right here, see this circle here, that is what the manufacturers did for the the mounting points for the GPU die. As you can see, there's one here, one down the bottom, and then two up top. Now, that means all I did was I added a 2mm heatsink, and then I added 2mm spacers on all of the pegs, and hope that the screws will grab. Now I know the screws will grab because they'll grab where that heatsink is not. So if you pay attention here, right here by my head here, and then it's so confusing. Right here by my head, yeah, this here, and at the top, in that top corner there, you'll see where the screws were making contact. Now, as I said, all I've done is I've added 2mm and then left it at that. Obviously, because of this thing here, and there is one for each one, I did check back the actual build video. Obviously, it needs another 0.5mm for the screw bits for proper mounting. Now, if it was hitting all four of them, I don't think I would have too much of a problem. And I'm not necessarily saying that this is actually causing anything fundamentally wrong with the heat temperatures because it is freaking hot at the moment. We're having a heat wave. However, this one side of the mountain is getting this copper pushing hard on it, whilst basically this bottom one here is kind of missing. So this one's probably okay. That one up there, I think the edge is catching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill out this one and that one up there. I'm going to drill them out, drill deep wider holes so the screws can go into it. And that top corner, I'm going to do the same thing with that. And I'm just going to make sure that this is fully clear, but I'm just going to trim the edge off that top corner. I mean, I've got to take it off to sort the heat transfer between the two out, but I'm worried that this is actually causing a problem to my GPU on temps, because even the slightest micron of the wrong kind of pressure on that mountain point is going to cause problems. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically I'm going to drill out those 4 holes that are all solid copper. I'm going to drill them out, and that top one I'm going to just trim, make sure that that's not actually making contact with any copper. If it's not, then I don't need to do anything, but I definitely need to drill out the other 2. And from the back plate, I know that if you look along the edge of the VRAM lump here, the actual rail makes contact. Now with the back plate, it just looked like hot, and it looked like it pressed tight up against it. So I think 2 mil will be fine for the screws to get catch and stuff. Basically, I'm hoping that by doing this, I'm actually going to be able to just use the back screws that are there. Also, obviously, whilst we're in there, we're going to pop the motherboard off and get that last screw in the mounting hardware at the bottom. I also forgot to show you that around the fans at the bottom, I used this stuff, which is basically it's just excluder stuff. Basically what I did is in between each fan, I literally layered this stuff up until it filled those gaps, and then I basically cut this in half and then used that to frame around the entire of the fans. So it's got a good seal, and it means that the fan air just comes through the heatsink as well as it does. So it should be responding really well to what I've done. The video was so long last time, I just didn't want to put it back in. So we are going to whip that back plate off. I need to peel it off anyway so that I can make some alterations to the heatsink. I also want to up here where these ridges are, because of the copper going to the fan on the other side. I want to make sure that there's some copper contact between the copper heat spreader that I've put up there and the back plate, so we can encourage more sort of heat transfer on that, because that plastic kind of stops there. So we'll cut that back as well, just in case that's causing a problem, but I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure the plastic's only over the main bit. I can't remember. We'll have it off in a minute anyway. But basically, I want to make some contact between the heat spreader and the back plate so that we can encourage that heat spread into those copper strips into the fan. And again, I want to do the thermal paste and tape on the back plate, on this back plate, basically, so that I get that better transfer. If you're curious, no, I don't actually connect the back plate up where the power connector is. I don't actually connect that up. I mean, it is metal to metal, so there'll be some heat transfer, but I wanted the heat transfer to basically either get thrown to the end. I wanted it to either be thrown to the fan end, so it can just get the heat thrown off it, and also thrown to the heatsink end where that aluminium heatsink is on the other side, which is sat underneath the case fan that literally constantly sucks air from that spot. So it should theoretically improve the thermals somewhat, but obviously with these temperatures, that's going to change things a little bit. You know, it's really freaking hot, but obviously with the temperatures, I don't know. But we are going to see if there's actually a difference from the pressure on that, because like I said, if this backplate is putting a couple of microns of pressure over one side of that heatsink clamp over the other. That could literally have the heatsink slightly wonky, which will increase hotspot temps and will increase running temps on the die. The VRAM I'm not really that bothered about. I mean, I've got like a 2 gigabyte overclock, a 2 gigahertz overclock on it, and it's not getting any hotter than like 68 degrees. So it's obviously working for that. And obviously I've got it there for the power delivery as well. But basically, because it's a steel backplate, it's going to fully soak anyway. But the reason I didn't put a direct contact from the power connector up here to the backplate was because it is a massive heat soak. That's why I've left the plastic on most of it, so that when the heat does want to leave, it wants to leave up and out rather than back to the GPU. That's why I've left the plastic there. But also, I didn't want a heat soak over the top of the connector. I wanted the connector to be connected to that heat pipe, so that as soon as the heat goes into it, it wants to fuck off to one of the sides. You know, that's why I got it. But yeah, if anyone actually read the comment and wondered what the problem was, these two screw holes, I need to screw those out. And like I said, the top one up there, I need to just trim the edge off, make sure it's open enough, and yeah, I want to connect up the heat spreader up here to the back plate. So we're going to get that done, and obviously we're going to put that one last mounting screw on the bottom in, and basically it's done. If the back screws literally pull it tight, then it's done, which is cool. But it should be improving things, which is difficult to test when you're in the middle of a friggin' heat wave. But that being said, should we take the little fucker apart and fix my mistakes? Because I'm gonna have to peel off this thermal pad. I'm gonna have to peel it off, I'm hoping, because there's a full half mil thermal pad across the bottom. I'm hoping it'll literally peel off in one, hoping. Because if I can peel it off and get it out of the way, then it's going to make the drilling and stuff a lot easier. I'm obviously going to have to take it off the back plate anyway to sort the thermal paste and stuff out. So I'm going to do it off the back plate in the kitchen. So I'll get that sorted. But first, let's get this thing apart, shall we? I literally built it so that it can come apart. I tried to make the mods in such a way that it would allow me to just take it apart and also return it to stock. We'll also put that little strip of vinyl to just finish off the back, because I'll have done then. So yeah, stick around, this should be fun. But we will be testing it in game just to see if there's actually any difference in thermals after the change in mounting. But I'm not gonna, we'll shorten the video. It was friggin' 50 minutes long last time, 55. Should we get to taking this GPU apart, yeah? Let's go. Right, okay guys, here she is. I've removed the screws because, you know, that's boring. Although I did have to remove them with a magnet, the ones that weren't catching. So I just did a little twist and they come out. But yeah, so what we're going to be doing, let me just pop this off here. I've already disconnected the fan. So like I said, I made this so that I can take it apart. So what we've got to do off here, we've got to pull this off here. And then I need to mark these. Should mark, hopefully. So basically what I need to do is I need to get this heatsink off of this. I want to change the mounting underneath anyway. I need to basically peel this off here. So what I kind of intended to do, let me get the GPU out of the way. We don't need this bit right now. We do need to go in there so we can get a screw in that, and it can close up that foam. I need to make sure that the foam's actually where it should be. It looks like it is, but as soon as that's closed up, that'll finish off the seal. So we do need to take the motherboard off, so we will be repasting this die. and remounting this. But I want to get those screwed out. I need to peel that off. I'm not going to be able to drill anything this evening because it's too late. But we will. I'll do it in the morning. I do need to get that thermal pad off though, because I'm hoping it'll come off in one, because there is a thermal pad under there. So what I'm hoping to do is take a bit of this plastic that was wrapping the vinyl, and then my intentions are to try and peel it off onto that plastic, so that once I've done the drilling I can just slap it back on. How well that's going to go, I don't know. If I cut those bits out, get the thermal pads back on, should mount properly, hopefully. It'd be nice if that was actually causing some sort of issue and I do get some savings from that, a better mounting. I am going to try and get this thing off so that I can change the mounting under there, but if I can't, I can't. It is what it is. I don't want to put too much pressure on these pipes because they are only a mil thick, you know. They're literally a millimetre, these heat pipes, so I don't want to put too much stress on them. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do now, and I will see you in the morning for the drilling. Right, okay guys, it is morning. Almost, just about, still. It's still morning, it's still morning. No, I had to wait for the phone to charge and stuff so I could film this bit. But I did get this off. I did do some prep work to the back plate for the other side of this. I have also changed out the mounting on here. If you see, the tape isn't full now, it's just either side. And I've got some thermal paste in between that. Not a lot, but literally you could have 10% of the contact there with thermal paste and it would still transfer more heat efficiently than the whole thing being taped. So I'm all right with that. So what we're going to be doing is these two here I'm going to cut. These corners I'm just going to use a Dremel, shape them out just to get them out of the way. But these two here I'm going to have to drill. I don't need to go the full 2 mil through, but I might go through the first layer just to get that done. But yeah, I think I'll probably time lapse that. So let me just get these drilled out. We're going to have to go through a couple of sizes. We've got a small on already. And then we're going to step up twice, end up at this. And then I'm still probably going to have to do a little bit of shaping it out. Maybe a grind wheel on the Dremel. Don't know yet. But yeah, let me get this started, shall we? Let's go. Right, okay guys, we are done with this. Hopefully that works out. Like I said, I've changed the way that's pasted in there. I'm also going to change up here. If you notice, I've added these 2 bits of copper. They're going to just make contact with this. All I've done is just thermal pasted them down a little bit with a tiny bit of thermal paste out of, actually on that, it's this stuff. But there's like next to nothing left in the tube. I'm literally just dabbing it on. You'll see. But I'm also left gaps here, so I'm going to use thermal paste there as well. I'll show you what I'm using for that. And if you notice over here, I've also done the same as I did on the back plate, where I'm going to put thermal paste in the middle, because even if it doesn't even fill that entire hole, it will literally give better thermal transfer than this tape would if it was covered the whole thing. So I'm good. And if you've noticed, I've had to move that down, which should improve cooling, because it means that the entire of this back slab actually makes contact. So there's nothing to it but to do it, is there? So I'm just gonna prep those holes. Look like they I went all the way through because it just makes life a lot easier for lining up, because at the end of the day, as long as I did have to elongate this one a little bit, but I have to stay in there, that onto there, and as long as I keep all of the original holes there showing, I'm sure that they're far too big for what they're actually supposed to be for. So as long as I show all the holes through the holes, we should be good, right? Well, that's the theory anyway. So let me get this pasted up, and then we'll sort out that screw under the motherboard, and yeah, get this bad boy back together and see if it actually made a difference. As you can see, this thing's basically empty, so I'm just using it because there's some left in it. And this should just give just decent contact for that patch. For these other bits though, because I've got plenty of it and I need to use it up because I don't actually like it, I'll explain. You'll see why, to be honest. But this is Thermal Grizzly's latest, the Duronaught. I'm just saying this now, De Bauer lied to me. De Bauer lied to me on this, and I don't like saying that about the man. I think he's a freaking legend. But yeah, he lied to me with this. He told me that this lasts longer. Now, maybe on the product it might do, if you can look. When I got this, it was okay. It wasn't the best thing to spread on, it wasn't the best thing to apply, but it was okay. And I put it on this GPU and it worked really well, and it had really good contact still when I did swap it over. But it was a bit of a pain in the arse to put on. But I was like, okay, maybe it has to be, just to last a little longer. So I was like, right, okay, no worries. A couple of months go by, this tube just sits in the cupboard with the other thermal paste. After that, this thing has been an absolute nightmare to get the stuff out. It's also, I put it on my CPU and it caused a problem by just being too thick, that when I squished down, it didn't squish out. It didn't squish. It got to a point and it didn't squish. I don't know if I've still got the footage. If I've still got the footage, I'll put it up now, and it was literally when I took it off, and the stuff was like a good, I don't know, 0.2 mil thick or something, but it shouldn't be that thick. It should just be like literally filling in the gaps between the metal. Like, you shouldn't have it as the contact pad, which is exactly what it was doing, which was obviously affecting my thermals. So that irritated me a little. Then I was going to do a video on it, and I didn't. But I'm going to use it. Look, I'm not going to knock its capabilities. It's pretty decent. But what De Bauer told me is that it's easier to apply than this, which is
Cryonaut.
It's not the extreme stuff, it's not the pink stuff, it's just grey stuff. This is Duronaught. And yeah, we're going to use this because I pay good money for it and I got plenty of it, but it comes out so thick. I think it'd be alright for this application that I'm going to be using it for right now. But it's a freaking nightmare. I've had it in my pocket. That's why it's worn down. I have to use it, put it in my pocket for a bit, or sit on it so that I can use it properly, because it does not like coming out. But I figured its thickness and like it might help in this particular situation. But it's good. Like, it does do a good job. It just does not do as good a job as Cryonaut. It does not apply better than Cryonaut. It's like a pad, look at it. It's more like putty. You can actually like kind of manipulate it into like a pad. It's not my cup of tea, yeah. So I'm gonna just try and spread it across this. It's not gonna like the spreading, but I want to use the freaking shit because I paid good money for it when I should have just got Cryonaut. I knew I should have just got Duronaught. I've been sitting on this stuff for freaking ages, and I've been like, what am I going to do with this? I intended to do a video complaining about it, but I thought, what's the freaking point? It might get me some hate attention. But look at it. The stuff is quite literally horrible to apply. It doesn't even improve with working it, you know? I genuinely hate this stuff. I feel justified every time I use it. I feel justified. I'm like, oh, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. No, it is. But essentially, it's all about encouraging the heat transfer, because I kind of need to. There you go. Right. It's got to be somewhere there. Just have faith that everything made contact under there. But it looks like the holes are out the way of the holes, if you get me. If I need to do any more trimming, it's going to have to happen whilst it's on here, because those pipes are fragile, and I did not like getting them to let go earlier. Although I do have to put the standoffs back on these two. I'm going to leave this one out because I'm missing a screw anyway. I'm sure I'll find it eventually. Oh, and I did do the slight to the back plate. I feel like it finishes it off. We'll see what it looks like when it's fully in place, but I feel like it finishes off the look of the card. I put a bit of tape with some tape upside down over that label to protect it so that I don't actually ruin it, but yeah, I should be able to really squeeze it on by just pressing on the back here. But yeah, so that's that sorted and upgraded, hopefully, and hopefully that should give me better clamping. So we'll find out. We've got to get on to sorting that mounting now. This. It's the only thing wrong with the mounting, and I'm not a massive fan of taking the motherboard off unless I really have to. But sometimes it's needs must. With this card, you've got to take this piece off because it hooks over the top of the main board. So let's just whip that off. Right, so that's that out of the way. Now we can take this off. On this particular card, because you don't have much to grip hold of, you've kind of got to grab it by the PCIe and just ease it up. I'm not a huge fan, but it's kind of just what you got to do. There's two connectors for the fans and the LEDs. The one that you'd think is for the fans is not, it's actually for the LEDs, this little one here. And this weird proprietary one looking one is for the fans. Right, so that's that off. We've only took that off so that we can get a screw in here. That's it. Just one screw down there. Alright, okay guys, so back plate's ready. I've put a couple of spacers in. I'm going to leave this screw out. Hopefully they stay in place whilst I drop this down. And the right way around. don't know whether the screws are the problem, but I think, to be honest, what I need is 10mm M2 bolts for the back of here, so that I can actually pull it down with some tension, and that would sort that out. You just plug the fan back in, and we are good to go. Yeah, so I'm happy with it, guys. What we're saying. It's a bit neater now, especially with that now. I should have slightly better airflow, flow through, because that's now not a gap. There's no gap there from the seal. I did put a little extra seal on the back of this, a little extra height, so it's just a little bit taller, just to allow for a bit more clearance. Not that I think it needed it, but I did it anyway. And yeah, let's get it in the case, guys. Let's get it in the case, guys. I think we've done a thing. Not only it's back in now, it looks freaking awesome. Me and the ARGB header on the motherboard, we sorted out our differences, and I've now got full control over that. I tried it with some breathing and stuff, but I actually just like it being that lime green, just solid lime green. I can't, I have to hand it to Gamewood. Add in an ARGB header so that you can just connect it up to your motherboard and bypass any software. Now, don't get me wrong, it is only the motherboard it's got options, but they're obviously a little bit limited, more down to the old school sort of ARGB kind of settings. So you've got cram, scan, breathe. There are some rainbow effects like rain and stuff that don't let you choose colours and that. So it is a little limited. However, it doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost me software to run it. I don't have to have a program running as soon as I get into Windows. It just sorts itself out. So I'm super happy with that. And I got all the cables tucked away. I've got this one nice and neatly tucked in with them. It's tucked, it comes out the bottom and stuff. It's all nice. I think we've done a thing, guys. To be honest, I think it is, spoilers, I've actually already had a look. There's a little later on, needed it to get a bit darker, and it has cooled down a little bit. I'll be completely honest with you, it has cooled down a little bit, but not dramatically from the point where I pulled the 3060 out. Now, before I took this out, it was idling at about 31 to 32 degrees. When I put the 3060 in, replaced it at that point in time, the 3060 was also idling around 31, 32 degrees. And idling or watching content and stuff like that, low level stuff, it was 30 odd degrees, very, very start of 30s. Now, when I took the 3060 out, it had dropped itself to about 29 degrees, but in all honesty, I'm used to that card kind of idling at 22 degrees. So 29 is kind of still hot for that thing. So I threw this, I pulled it out at 29 degrees, I threw this in, and this thing is idling at 26 to 27 degrees, which is already a absolute stormer of a start. I have had a little tinkle on Doom Eternal, and I'm kind of excited to show you the results. But like I said, I genuinely think that it's just literally a combination. I think the combination of everything, us clamping the shroud back down, so it's nice and firm and contacted now. So all that foam excluder that I put around the fans is working perfectly, which means all of that air is just getting straight up from all three fans at the bottom. Don't get me wrong, they spin slower than the original fans, but they are thicker, so they pass through more air, and they're also far quieter, and I love them. I love these A9s, I think they're freaking awesome. Plus, putting 92mm fans in there meant that I got to keep the original Shroud, and I like my GPU to look like a freaking GPU, not just a chunk of metal with some fans strapped to it. Not that there's a problem with that janky look. I like that too. Anyway, so I think it's a combination of that. Maybe the repasting helped, but I doubt it. The paste looked, the contact looks really good. Maybe a little lopsided. I think that the drilling of the holes on the backplate has made such a massive difference to the results. Just by literally how it reacts, how it behaves. I'm going to show you, but I feel like everything's working better. But yeah, a combination of that plus the change in interface on the throughput for the thermal solutions. Putting that thermal paste on there instead of the tape is going to have astronomically increased its thermal conductivity, especially with it being Duronaught. Now, I know I hate on this stuff because I don't really like it, but I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to keep it for any sort of paste situation, because I've still got a bit in here, and like once you've spludged it out at this point, like you can literally manipulate it like paste, so it'd probably work for any sort of like random height pads that I need to put in. I could probably just dump this on, and this is probably going to be some of the best paste you can get on the market. But if you're looking for Duronaught as a replacement to just your thermal paste, especially if you use Cryonaut, don't do it. Just get Cryonaut again. Like, I know it's a little bit more expensive, but it goes on nicer, it works better, it's actually literally better. I've had better results from it. It goes on better, and it might pump out or whatever, but the other two, and I've never really had a problem with Cryonaut having a longevity issue, even on a GPU. About 3060's got Cryonaut on it. It's been on there for friggin' ages. It could probably do maybe having a look at, see if it needs a repaste. But in all honesty, it's not bad. It's not as bad as some really pump out. But I digress. Changing that thermal solution on the back, getting those holes drilled out so that the screws can sink into it a little bit, has made a huge difference. I think that actually was causing some sort of pressure issue on the die mounting. So I'm kind of glad that that's out of the way of them now. It has squished down further, so maybe it's doing better transfer in that sense. Whatever the weather, I think all of the little things that we've done in this video have made an astronomical difference. So should we hop on and I'll show you what I mean? Yeah. Right. Okay. So we are in. As you can see, it is literally idling at 26.7. Just to reset this. I'm just going to quickly jump through Doom. I was going to do a different level because I've tried a couple, but I'm not going to do that because I actually think the system's running far better than that, and I should show you. Also, my pump is real trying to give up. I've got bits of plastic boxes and shit wedged in to keep it in a particular position so it's less noisy. It's only going to last a couple of weeks, but oh my god, it's frustratingly noisy. Alright, so guys, I'm in. Everything's exactly the same, all the settings are the same. We're gonna go campaign, we'll go the same level. I'll probably skip through most of it because let's be honest, you watched this level in the last video. Reset, let me just skip this.
The entrance to the BFG 10,000 is just across.
Reset the count.
Warning, BFG 10,000 is firing.
I don't get older. This game doesn't get old, man.
Living escape pods to get down to the Mars core, but we have no way of reaching it from here.
I am shit. Jesus.
You pray for his return. The Slayer, the savior of humanity.
That is shocking, man. I'm probably going to cut most of this gameplay out. Because let's be honest, we just need to see the end result. Let's go! Come on, you big ugly fucker. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm here for you. Motherfucking meatball from hell. Go. Let's go. Shot on that then. Oh, you cunt. Go. Fuck you, prick. Fuck you, you fat cunt. Where's that skinny bitch? I've not seen her yet. There you are, you cunt. Yes! Fuck you all. I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, temps look fucking great.
Prepare for turbulence.
Game's playing awesome. Temperatures are not that much of an issue. It is getting warm in here, but you know, got the windows shut and all of this is on. Let's go. Give me some ammo, bro. Jesus. Oh, you prick. Jesus. Isn't it wonderful when this game just like surprises you with shit like that? Okay. Yeah, I'm on the big fella. Yes!
The portal ahead will take you to Sentinel Prime, where the Hell Priest Dane Gron is.
Alright, okay guys. Same game, same run, same level, run through it. And what we're looking at on temps. Max GPU temp of 68.7. So that in comparison to the, what was it, 77.8 or something. That's insane. And that's not just down to like the temps being a little bit lower. That is literally, the card is literally working better. And look at those hotspots. Just that way. Just look at those hotspots. Like 81.4. I'm pretty sure that was 97 point something on the last run before we did these alterations. 81.4. It being so much closer to the temps because there was a good, previously there was a good, what, 20 odd degrees between the GPU temps and the hotspot temps. Now that's like more like a 10 degrees difference. Like that's a massive difference. And on the VRAM, 66 degrees. It's not going over 66 degrees. So everything that we've done in this video, everything that we've done to just tweak this has made this card better. And spoiler, I had a little look on Port Royale because I was tweaking the overclock a little bit, so I just wanted to see that if it had run, and it literally ran the fastest run I've ever run on Port Royale. It beat my last score by a bit, with the memory clocks at a far lower number, so I can still pump the memory on that. So I'm hoping to get a bit further up the list, but I'm super happy with this now. I feel way more comfortable about it. I love the fact that the lighting's working properly and everything's mounted properly. It's like it's a solid card now. Now I do need to get 10mm screws for the back. I'm going to get those, order those in, and put those in so that I've got proper mounting on the back. But other than that, the card is complete, and I'm super happy with it. Super happy with it, and I can't complain. Where it's still quite warm right now, and I'm getting like 68 degrees maxed out in Doom Eternal, which has been literally pumping the GPU at like 300 watts pretty much the whole time. Like peaking at 67, and those hotspots at 81. This whole setup is now working so much better. I'm super happy with it, and yeah. Anyways, I hope you like the video, guys. And what do you think of the card? Are you impressed with the changes that has actually made to it? Like it genuinely whips the temperatures down even quicker now as well. Like, so are you impressed with the differences that just drilling a few holes and making a few changes to the thermal interface? Are you impressed by what that's done? Because I personally am. I'm super happy with the results now, and as we hit cooler temperatures, it's going to be even better. And then I can really fucking push the overclock and see what we can get out of it on air. But this is now working so good now, and yeah, I'm just gonna get to gaming. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, love you, bye.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.